All right. Happy Friday, Hokie Nation. Welcome to episode 2 of the Hokie-Hi Podcast. I am your host, Chris Payne, alongside Alex Harmon once again. Alex, how's it going, man?
It's great. It's great. Anytime we get to hop on here and blabber about Hokies, I'm game. So,
Especially
and
with
especially,
everything going on around the program right now. It's an
let's
exciting
talk about
time.
it, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah, let's jump in here. So, obviously,
it. I feel
yesterday,
like we need like a red alarm that's like flies like
yeah,
yeah. We need
uh,
that.
obviously, yesterday, Tech picks up Peter Bork out of Tabor Academy in Marion, Massachusetts. This dude is 6'4", 220, the number one player in the state, or maybe that's at quarterback. Number 7 quarterback in the country. He was the highest
Number one
uncommitted
player in the
quarterback
state.
at the
No,
time.
no, you're right.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right in the state. Yeah.
Number 7 quarterback in the country. He was the highest uncommitted quarterback. At one point, he was committed to Michigan and then decommitted.
Do we know why? Was it the Brown stuff
It might have been.
or more?
Yeah, it might have been.
Sharon Moore. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so big,
I don't blame him.
huge pickup for a Virginia Tech room,
Massive.
quarterback room that like already has, you would assume, their quarterback for the next 3 years at least, and then like Baker and Hune if everybody stays put. Keldon Ryan kind of ends up being probably the lone like odd man out, but it's got to be somebody.
Hate it. But look, at the end of the day, you can't play everybody. We had
No.
talked last pod about how much I like the idea of how much I wish that Keldon had the chance to at least spread his wings. And if I'm gonna follow the rabbit hole of the butterfly analogy, if he spreads his wings and they're not pretty, then at least we know.
Yeah.
But now we're sitting here and we're like, we don't know. And we've got Baker now. We've got Hune. Bork's coming in next year. Bork? Burke?
Yeah.
Bork. I feel sound like the chef from the Muppets. Bork,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is
Uh,
Bork as a
okay.
hockey fan. That sounds right.
Okay. Okay. But no, I also agree. I feel like Keldon, although he might see the field this year, you never know. But things happen, people get hurt. Knock on wood. I just think it's more than likely a guy like him probably gets the short end of the stick. But
This is a big year for him all of a sudden because it's a good opportunity for him
Keldon?
to try and yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity for him whenever he's on the field to just put some tape out there. And again, I mean, you never know. Like
Just ball
the
out, man.
transfer portal era has really created this just chaotic landscape. And I mean, Franklin is pretty good at getting guys to stay for a while. But especially some of these guys that were like in the room before he got here, which I guess in this case would just be Ryan. I don't know. It creates a really interesting dynamic, and like I said, it turns into a really big year for him personally. And
Definitely.
obviously, like we want the guy to succeed because if he succeeds, the program succeeds. But yeah, I mean, Peter Bork, big time commit, stuffed Kirby Smart in a locker. Oh, and by the way, a week before that, he did the exact same thing to a kid from Georgia, Chase Johnson, cornerback out of Emmanuel County Institute in Twin City, Georgia. He's a 5'10", 150-pound. Yeah.
Dog.
A little bit on the smaller side, but he'll put on some weight. 3-star, the 34th ranked player in the state
Butler?
of Georgia. Or sorry, 35th player in the state of Georgia and 34th cornerback in the country. Pretty good commit. I mean, granted, probably not super high on Georgia's list, but we were talking off the air. It's just nice to be like not only in these recruiting battles, but winning them against schools like Georgia, like Penn State. a lot of these places that for years have come into the state of Virginia and taken our best players. Now we're going into their places and taking some of theirs. So, you have any insight on that?
I just think that it's so interesting that we've how many times this week did we see a tweet or even I talked to you about how like we went from a program that was like literally booed off the field of halftime against Old Dominion.
Yep.
Old Dominion, dude. And
Third loss in what, 8 years now? 7 years?
yeah, that loss would have been as bad as it was without the history, but then you
Yeah.
just throw that on there. But
that's a good
you go
microcosm of
from
where the program has been for a
right,
while.
right. That I view that as the low point. Me sitting here in my bedroom, we hadn't gotten off to a good start in the year, and I was like, well, I'll just stay here and watch the Old Dominion, like sure, whatever. And we just got roasted to start that game, and I was like, there is no way. And sure enough, down what was it, 30 what to nothing?
Was it
30
35-0 at half?
I think it was 31-0 at half.
And granted, this
We
is
just
a
got
week.
killed.
This is a week after you and I sat in Lane Stadium, up 10 on Vanderbilt going into halftime.
Yeah, and we're
Probably one of
this
the
is our chance
most
to turn it around.
the most electric pregame environments I've ever felt in that stadium.
incredible.
Certainly since I was in elementary school, which 15 years ago. I mean, we're talking the last time we won an ACC championship. I looked at you as the team is running into the tunnel to go to the locker room at halftime of the Vanderbilt game, and I said, I've got a bad feeling about this.
You did, because it didn't end in like a clean way. Anyway, all that to say, we go from that team to, and I'll say this, like we're not a team I think that like that people expect to go into Georgia or go down to Florida or go to Texas and bring somebody. And I'm not even sure that with the amount of talent around like Maryland, Virginia, parts of North Carolina, like there's a lot of talent here. South Carolina even has some people. Like it's here, but if you have the ability and the luxury from your recruiting staff and your coaches to go, hey, we've got this kid down in Georgia, loves our DB coach, loves the area, and we can pay them what they're supposed to be paid now. That's
competitively,
yeah. Like in this day and age, you can't not be a team that can afford to pay people.
Yeah.
And I promise
we've
you,
seen that.
I promise Bork wasn't cheap. And he shouldn't be. He's a top 10 quarterback in the whole class. So I'm just saying, like, it's we've went from that program, and again, all this being said, we haven't stepped foot on a field in a regular season. So we'll see how all that goes. However, I can't see how I can't envision this team going out against VMI and not winning by more than 40.
Yeah. And
just
we'll
like
get
dog walking VMI.
Yeah.
Which might actually be a pretty good little segue into the talk of the schedule here. But
yeah, quickly, I just wanted to say too, it's the kind of players that we're getting as well. Bork committed to a quarterback room that, for all intents and purposes, has no room. Right, we just had to have AJ Brand switch positions because there wasn't room for him, and he's been in the quarterback room. This would have been his third season, I think. So for Peter Bork, granted, again, I'm sure he's being compensated very well. For him to commit to that kind of quarterback room, I think says a lot about his character as well, because he knows he's going to have Grunkemeyer, he's going to have Baker, he's going to have Hune all around him jockeying for position. He's not going to come in and have anything handed to him.
Just to be honest about like Hune, to a lesser extent Baker, because he'll be a junior. No, well, he'll be a redshirt sophomore in Bork's first year, but like Bork's the kind of guy you make room for.
Yeah.
He doesn't come in to like a full room. He comes in and makes it full. You
Yeah.
know, that's the kind of talent. So I agree with you. I just think that's the kind of guy that you just say like, yeah, we're probably gonna have to have some tough conversations with our guys. But I mean, that's these are first world college football problems that we're having, and I think the
Yeah.
problem is we haven't had them in. Dude, I have no idea. No
I
idea.
mean, probably
Forever ago.
since probably since Fuente's first class, maybe 2016, 17, before
Probably.
the program just went off the rails. I mean, and a couple quick notes on two more commits that we picked up after our last episode. DeMarcus Brown, this is a big one from Roanoke Catholic
True.
School. 6'3", 180-pound wide receiver, 3-star player. He was UVA's highest rated recruit, and we took him away.
Emphasis on the was.
Fontel Mines took this kid away from his own alma mater, dude. That's
UVA Cavalier took
Yeah.
him away. Yeah.
This is the number
Feels
7
so good.
number 7 player in the state of Virginia, 46th nationally. And then Elijah Butler out of Baltimore, St. Francis Academy, 6'3", 190-pound safety, 3-star, the number 12 player in the state of Maryland, 37th ranked safety. 4 really solid commits. I mean, granted, people hear 3-star and they don't really. The star system's broken, right? I mean, we all kind of understand this to an extent. Like the you can only read so far into that stuff. And so I feel like a lot of people, and I've seen some people say this too, like, oh, why are we getting so excited over a 3-star? Statistics show that the majority of the NFL is made up of 3-star or lower.
Definitely.
So there's some quality players to pick up who maybe aren't the flashy 4 and 5-star guys that all the big programs want. But you have to have those guys as like the foundation of your program, especially at a place like Virginia Tech, kind of a middle-sized, trying to climb up that ladder, kind of
We'll
school.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, plenty of reason to be excited. Plenty of reason. You should always be excited to take.
As if we
UVA
didn't have
back.
enough. As if we didn't have enough reasons to be excited.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just a little tidbit on recruiting, man. That's James Franklin's killing it. We're sitting
It's been a hot topic.
Yeah, we're sitting at the 17th ranked class in the country. Got as high as 14th at one point in time. I see you added a note, or maybe I added this. I can't remember. I need you all to stop what you're doing and listen. Throwing it back to shout a little bit. Yeah, great times. Brewing here in
Coach
Blacksburg.
Frank keeps that around. That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we want to jump into the schedule here for 2026.
Sure.
So week 1, we've got VMI. They went 1-11 in 2025. Really tough spot, I would say, especially being a military school. They have a new head coach, Ashley Ingram, because Danny Rocco actually joined our staff as the senior defensive analyst for offense. We haven't played each other since 1984, where Virginia Tech won 54-7 in Norfolk. This is
which is crazy that we haven't played them in 40 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Especially given the history, which a lot of the older fans really appreciate, because at one point in time, this was considered, they called it the Military Classic of the South. I hope that we revive that name because it's sick, and why the heck not? I get that they're FCS. I don't care. Bring back the name. The first meeting was in 1894. VMI won that game 10-6. Football has changed a lot since then. So has Virginia Tech.
Slugfest.
I believe we
Slugfest.
were called VAMC at the time. I think I didn't put that in my notes. It was like Virginia Agricultural and Mechanical College or something like that.
Sweet.
Uh,
Nice.
not a whole lot to talk about for this game yet. We'll do a preview, obviously, the week
I think
of, but
you can sum this up. I'm gonna try to keep like a little tally of like games that are wins, games that we should, games that we could, and games we're not. Does that make sense? Like
yeah,
VMI first one in the will win tally. That's cool.
definitely should be.
That feels good to no, it's not should. I have a column for should. Should is Pitt at home, Chris, not VMI at home. VMI at home is a win.
I get flashbacks to.
It's a new day. Turn the calendar, my man.
I just
got done talking about a top 10 quarterback. Come on,
it's
man.
It's
Let's
tough.
be happy. Let's be happy.
It's tough.
Why not?
Yes, Virginia Tech wins this game. It's just I get the PVTSD that I talk about.
I feel you.
Boise State and JMU to start 2010. I mean, if Tech wins those games, goes undefeated, they probably play for the national championship that year. They were that good.
Florida State, East Carolina is another holy moly, how did this happen? Well, Boise State was a loss, but that was close.
Yeah.
And then,
Virginia Tech wins this game. It's
hopefully
two different.
Like, I want to see my shiny new toys against VMI. Does that make sense? I want to see all of the Q Brown. I want to see Luke running up the seam. I want to see everybody. I want to see Overton gashing them. I want to see Grunk making quick decisions, like all of it. And yes, this is gotta be there.
Yeah.
Because this is like when I first looked at this year's schedule and I knew that Franklin would be our guy for this year, I was like, we're probably going to get rid of VMI and try to get a more marquee first game because you want to come on the national stage. I'll tell you what, not a bad idea to just like roll out the red carpet on a team and just like get all those gears greased up and running nice and healthy.
Don't waste the hype either.
Yeah. Run it up.
Like you're not scheduling Ohio State for the first game of the James Franklin because Enter Sandman would be nuts.
That's not what I meant. I meant some middle of the ground or
like James Madison, which was the game that we actually canceled for this year.
Or like mid-level Big 12 team, something like a TCU, like what North Carolina did last year when they got smoked. Oh, did I? No, but God bless VMI. This is a bloodbath.
It better be. And that was something I was going to ask you about each of these games because there's a lot of fans who times are tough. Fans live all over the place. Maybe you only pick 1, 2, 3 games to go to each year. So this was something I was going to ask you for each home game. Is this a must-attend game in your eyes? I agree. I think simply for the fact that it's Franklin's first home game.
Yeah.
And you want to be there. That's the kind of game you call the box office and ask if they can print off a ticket for you. It's a special day. You want to
put it in a shadow box or something like that. Yeah.
Like one day when we're hopefully watching Franklin lift the national championship trophy in Blacksburg, we can look back and say we were at his first game in Blacksburg, other than the spring game. So, you want to move on to Old Dominion?
Oh, Chris, Old Dominion. This is Exercise Demons game. This can, I'm telling you, going from that 31-0 halftime score to just beating the crap out of Old Dominion would be like it would do things to me. Like I would feel like the whole like I've been tweeting the gif of like put the word out that we're back up.
Yeah.
Like I would be firing off that tweet like once every 5 minutes. If we just smoke Old Dominion after we kill VMI. It's the little things, dude. We haven't done that. We haven't been doing that. So I think it would be big for us to get one there. Now, as you point out here in our notes, Franklin and Pry versus Ricky Ronnie, another former staffer under Franklin at Penn State, along with Pry. He was the OC when Pry was a DC. Franklin was head coach. They all kind of split off into different places. Both Pry and Ronnie, weirdly enough, end up with Virginia college jobs. That's kind of weird. But
that is funny.
This will be a big, like, and also there were all the rumors about Ronnie coming and being the OC.
Yeah.
Before we even knew who, what's our OC? Ty Howell. Before we even knew what a Ty Howell was, we were like, Ricky Ronnie, just go take Ricky Ronnie from Old Dominion.
Would have been a good hire.
Especially after how last year went. Yeah, I think it'd be about as good as we could have done. But I like Ty. So
yeah.
But yeah, big time for the Franklin versus Ronnie matchup. Chris, you had some magic for this one too?
Now I am getting my masters from Old Dominion. I promise you I will be in Lane Stadium hoping that they get the break speed off of them.
Ooh.
I'm a Hokie first and foremost, so Masters Smashers go Hoks. That's what I say. I'll use my academic influence to make sure that ODU loses this game. I don't know.
As you should.
I've got this down as a win as well. I think there's enough juice in this one. Old Dominion's supposed to be like pretty decent again this year, I think.
Of course they are. You know why? Because Ricky Ronnie's their coach.
Yeah.
He runs a tight ship down there.
As somebody who is getting his masters from Old Dominion, I guess I do have vested interest. I hope that they do
buy some ODU merch. That'd be fun.
I'll have to. I mean, I hope they do well, just not week 2 in Blacksburg. I hope they get beat by 70, and I hope
I hope they do well and still get killed.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I want them to play as well as they can, and it just not even matter.
If they go 11-1, in the Sun Belt and their only losses to us, great. That's cool.
Yeah, I'd be down.
So yeah, it should be a win. Hopefully.
Agreed.
I mean, you can't take anything for granted with this game.
Again, if we're going with my will be, these first two are wins. They're wins.
And they kind of have to be, because if you lose either of those first 2 games, dude, it's gonna get toxic real quick.
Can you imagine? Oh my god. That'd be like code red, everybody to your battle stations type of thing.
That would be like the fastest free fall from 40,000 feet ever. Like that would be like so catastrophic considering the kind of
I feel like Chicken Little
had. Yeah.
Like the sky is falling. The sky is falling.
You thought if we lose to Old Dominion at home, you thought the boos were bad after Pride. I mean, I don't. Lord have mercy. It would get toxic real quick.
It's funny it's actually funny thinking about that, because I'm just so I've tried my best to distance those memories, but thinking about how depressed actually medically depressed I was after that Old Dominion game. I mean, Chris, we had done like a lot of research into that. We were talking it up, dude, and we talked ourselves into South Carolina. Had
Could
it,
have
had
won
it,
that game.
had it.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. It turned out we both sucked, so it didn't matter.
Could have beat Vanderbilt, but
Could
just
have beat Vandy. Didn't happen. It turned out
no.
Vandy was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, at least we get at least now we're playing ODU and Wofford.
Get right game. Yeah.
Belt to ass. Yeah, it was bad. So yeah, I'll leave that Old Dominion just saying like that's a win. And I'm not gonna think about it anymore, Chris. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. I'm just gonna say win.
Yeah.
Week 3, my man. We got Maryland at Maryland.
This is a really interesting game to me.
And it's a big boy game for us.
It's one that I, for whatever reason, do not feel great about. I'm a pessimist, though, as you guys will find out. I tend to err on the cautious side of things.
And then I try to lift you up, and then
yeah.
when we inevitably still do bad, you're just like, "See,
yeah,
told you," and I'm like, "But
yeah."
Anyway,
so I mean, Maryland, interesting game. They went 4-8 last year. Okay. I don't know a whole lot about this team, to be honest. Again, we'll do a preview when the time comes. In my opinion, like, yes, the first 2 games are must win because it's VMI and Old Dominion. Those are teams that you have to beat. Maryland is like the first must win game, I think, in the sense of like you're beating a Power 4 opponent. Because if you lose this game to go 2-1, especially if Maryland turns out to not be very good, the narratives of, well, James Franklin can't win big games will come back, even if it's not a big game. Maryland. Yeah. That just kind of comes back.
It's the first big game that he'll have in Blacksburg.
Yeah. It should be a very, very pro Hokies crowd, given that it's in downtown DC, basically. Maryland has a history of showing up, showing out early in the season before they hit the Big Ten schedule. I've got this one as a win. I don't feel good about it, but it's a win.
I have this in my should win category. I have my wins, my shoulds, my coulds, and my nots. I think this is a should. I think this is a should.
You should.
I think week 1 and 2 are wills. Week 3 is a should. A
good team wins this game.
A little surprising that Mike Loxley is still the head coach at Maryland. He's respected in the industry, and he's a former Saban offensive coordinator. Like, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
It just hasn't worked for some reason there. And well, I say for some reason it's because he's the head coach of Maryland football. Like, if the equivalent of him as a coach was coaching Maryland men's basketball instead of I don't know, a guy like Buzz Williams, instead of him, maybe their basketball program wouldn't be bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten. But instead, he's the football coach, and you're in the Big Ten in football, and that's hard to compete in a conference with UCLA, USC, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State, Indiana. I just rambled off that whole list and didn't even get to the national champs. Sick conference, Indiana. Guys. That's awesome. Yeah, and then you're in Maryland trying to compete there. It's hard, really hard.
But and this is the same BS argument that people have made about SEC teams. Well, bottom of the barrel SEC teams are better than top of the barrel ACC teams. Okay, and maybe that's true because a rising tide lifts all boats. So maybe this Maryland team is actually like gonna be solid, and they still finish maybe between 4 and 6 wins in a Big Ten conference that is, I've said for years, the best in football. You can argue with a brick wall. Big Ten is the standard. They've had the last 3 national championships
and it's been 3 different teams too. I don't think it's much of a conversation either. Right?
No.
Right now, I don't think that it's much to talk about. Now, we'll see if Indiana can. This is kind of going off the rails into a Big Ten conversation, but we'll see if Indiana can try and kind of look like what they did in the past 2 years. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think that Michigan's probably going to take a step forward. Their all-star freshman has another year under his belt. I'm sure he'll be better. But Ohio State looks like a world beater again this year. USC should be really good. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, just hard being Maryland.
Yeah.
Right now.
And
I think a Tech win here might like turn the heat up to high on a Mike Locksley, because I haven't looked at their pre-us time of the year, but I would imagine they're not playing a bunch of hardball. They're probably having cupcake-ish stuff like we are. And
yeah,
your first big game of the year is the team right down the road, and you get beat at your place. That's hard. So
I would imagine if Tech walks up there and blows them out, it might be like an Old Dominion situation for Brent Pry last year. But I don't know. I mean,
different caliber, but same feeling of like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know they expect to win this game because they do belong to the biggest conference or the best conference in football.
I don't know if expect is the right word, but not expect to win, but they expect to compete in a real way.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
And if that means like a 1-score loss, that's tough. You go lick your wounds, you keep playing football. If they get beat by like 2-3 scores, that's a little harder to deal with as an athletic department. I agree. This is a should win. So for those doing math at home, the Hokies are 3-0.
Yeah.
Going into Chestnut Hill.
Yeah. Just as it is hard to be Maryland, it is also hard to be Boston College. 2-10.
Yeah, it is.
2-10 in 2025. They are one of only 2 teams to finish below Virginia Tech in the ACC standings. Don't remember who the other one was. This
sure wasn't Virginia, Chris. I'll tell you that.
No, this should be a win, but this is a really interesting storyline to follow, and we can. Is this do or die for Bill O'Brien? Not just this season, but like
feels a lot like Mike Locksley, to be honest with you. Except Bill O'Brien's had even more success.
Let's look elsewhere, I'm going to look up Boston College's schedule here.
Well, while you're doing that, you're right. This is another really hard place to play in the ACC, especially later in the year as you get into colder weather. But even mid-late September, you're probably dealing with a tough road environment.
Yeah.
I agree. If things get started well for them, like you said, you're looking at it now, but if they get started well for them, then I could see it being a little more of a juice game than it looks like. Because you see at Boston College, you're like, well, at Boston College for Hokie fans that grew up with those like mid 2000s teams, you're like, Tech at Boston College, that's huge, But for Hokie fans that have been more indoctrinated into the last 10 to 15 years, you're like, at Boston College. There's a lot of history between Boston College and Tech. A lot of Matt Ryan daggers, which sucks. But my dad still has PTSD of Matt Ryan. He hates his guts.
Yeah, it killed that 2000 season.
Yep.
That team could have played for a national championship. Didn't. I mean, but
a lot of couldas, huh, Chris?
Yeah.
A lot of couldas.
Welcome to being a Virginia Tech fan. Now Boston College's schedule, it could be worse.
Give me pre-Tech.
They start the season at Cincinnati. They finished 7th in the Big 12 last year. So that, compared to where Boston College was last year, that could just be a blowout.
I'd
I
like
don't.
to think Boston College can play. I'm not
Yeah,
saying they're going to win, but they can play.
they tend to be competitive early on. I feel
Yeah.
like, and then they have Rutgers at home in Chestnut Hill. That one probably a little bit more gettable, but Rutgers, they can run the football usually.
Rutgers was. I don't know how we didn't win either of those games
No,
against Rutgers the past in 23 and 24. But hey,
and then
yes, they can't always run the ball. That is correct.
yeah,
That is correct.
even though they finished 14th in the Big Ten, it's still they're going to run the football. So might be a little bit of a sneaky game there, and then they have Maine. That should be a win. So realistically, you're looking at either 2-1, 1-2, probably going into Virginia Tech.
So by
Before,
then it's probably like juice is probably or like the air's out of the balloon type of thing.
well, and
Maybe.
here's interesting too. They go on the road to SMU the week after playing us. So this could be a little bit of a tough spot for Boston College, a little bit of a tough spot for Bill O'Brien. I personally think he's gone after this year. Uh, that's just my opinion. They could have a winning season. I don't know. If they have another subpar season in the ACC, I don't
What if we
see
just go
him.
and kill back to back coaches? What if we just like go on a march and just start like leaving head coaches in our wake? It'd be. I mean, look. I honestly, this is a little interesting tidbit here. If you want to like think big picture, how many teams across the country do you think saw what we did last year in firing Pry after week 3, getting a head start on the coaching process, having like the apple fall in our lap that was James Franklin when we were hungry, when we needed. I mean, we were begging for something, and
Yeah.
here comes James Franklin. How many teams do you think can be in a similar spot this year, like a Maryland after a Virginia Tech loss, like after Boston College after a Virginia Tech loss, with coaches that like should be slash could be good that aren't, and they just go, "Hey, we saw Tech do it last year. Let's just get it." And I think it. I mean, it depends a lot on how the games go and what the games look like before they play us, but I could see a Loxley being let go. I could see a Bill O'Brien being let go. Bill O'Brien maybe less just because the weight his name carries in the industry. But I mean,
Well,
Loxley's also a fantastic coach.
yeah.
Ask anybody. I mean, he's great. He's just playing in, like we've said, the best college football conference in America.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
and for Bill
I just
O'Brien,
thought that was interesting.
yeah. For Bill O'Brien, it's also a question of what are Boston College's expectations here? Like, are there expectations to go to a bowl game? Because I think starting the season 2-2, including a loss to Virginia Tech, that that could still happen. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. It's different though for a place like Virginia Tech who expects to compete for ACC championships, expects to be in the national conversation, hasn't been there in a while, but expects that. It's a lot different when you start the season 0-3 after two kind of disappointing seasons in a row. That decision to move on from Brent Pry makes a lot more sense
You're right.
after something like that for a place that has higher expectations versus if Boston College, again, if they just want to get to a bowl game, starting the season 2-2, maybe even 1-3, might not be enough to move on from Bill O'Brien yet. Now that being said, I don't know, because I don't know what their expectations are. Frankly, I mean, they have a good hockey program, so I
Yeah.
mean, that's shout out Ryan Leonard. He's the future for the Caps. But yeah, do or die for Bill O'Brien. Who knows? This should be a dub. So I guess that would put Tech at 4-0 to start the year, which would be great.
I mean, I guess. I
Um,
mean, shoot, might as well go for it.
I mean, you're
Some
looking at
some slight.
probably if you beat Maryland, you're looking at sneaking into the top 25 at some point. Because I would imagine we'll start the season receiving votes. That's
Probably.
assuming we start the season receiving votes, but
And then if we go and beat Boston College on the road,
yeah,
coming home for Pitt, I think we're probably, if we're not top 25, we're like 27,
yeah.
28, you know, um,
Great
which
segue.
is, which is to Friday Night Lights. I'm sorry, high school kids. There's football to be played in Blacksburg, Virginia. Uh, we've got Pitt, fellas. 8-5 last year in the ACC. That was good for tied for second. For most of the year last year, we're like if the cards fall the right way, maybe they can get into the playoff. They ended up losing some tough ones down the stretch to Miami and Pat Nazi had the weird thing where he got, I think if memory serves, was like he's like, I don't really care if we lose to Miami. I don't care because if we win next week, it's gravy. And then they went and got smoked by Miami and felt like the whole attitude changed to their team. It was weird, but just a weird thing to say as a head coach. Be like, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Now
Pitt's
did
always going to
freeze.
be a.
You did freeze there for most of that. I'll just catch everybody up. They finished tied for second in the ACC at 8-5. Basically, they were a playoff dark horse last season. Lost a couple tough games. That's basically the gist of I think what you said. And the only reason I know that is because I see the notes. But yeah. So this is a must attend. I mean, Friday night game in Blacksburg, Thursday night game, whatever.
You don't get many of them.
It's kind of BS that this isn't a Thursday night game, but whatever. Night games in Blacksburg are just different. So that alone makes it a must attend. On top of the fact that Pitt is one of those teams, I feel like they're kind of the benchmark for where your program is in the ACC. They have a tough defense most of the time. They're usually going to be around the lower top third, maybe upper second third of the ACC. They're always going to be a tough win. They're going to make you earn it. And so I feel like if you beat Pitt, that is usually a good sign that your program is trending in the right direction. Now, 2023, we beat the brakes off of those guys. And it didn't really – yeah, you were
awesome.
there. It didn't really amount to
strike in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
It was sick.
That didn't really amount to much, but that's just kind of how I view or have viewed Pitt is they're kind of like the benchmark for good programs in the ACC.
They're a measuring stick team.
Yeah. They're well coached. They're a well coached, disciplined football team. Hard nosed, you got to tip your hat to Pat Narduzzi, even though him and Justin Fuente had beef, and it was kind of funny.
So did him and Frank. Just to throw that out there. And if Frank don't like you, I don't like you. So
yeah, I mean he's kind of a jerk, but you got to respect the guy. He can coach ball.
Definitely. I think if we're going to continue my will, could, should, all this stuff, given the context of our hypothetical record going on, which is all I have to go off of, Chris. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a should. You have loss here. No way. Okay, so I think that this is given the context of our season so far, I think we ride that momentum home Friday night. This is our first actual ESPN spot.
Yeah.
For Inner Sandman back, crowd going nuts.
Yeah.
Tear dome, baby. Bring it all out.
Yeah.
And you think we drop a ball here? Because I think it's Cal. I think the I think the letdown spot is come home, beat Pitt, go all the way to California and lose that one. I think that makes a lot more sense.
That
If
does make
we're
sense.
if we're gonna drop like a conference game that's not like a look you right in the face and say you're probably losing, which they're coming. Trust
Yeah.
me, they're on the way. Um, I think it makes more sense for it to be Cal. I understand why it'd be Pitt. Pitt, just to every point you said, they're always well coached. They're always talented. They're always good at running the football. They're always good at stopping it. Like they're just a good football team.
Yeah.
I understand.
And my feelings on that game, my feelings on all of these games might change, right? I mean, again, we're gonna do previews. Things are just gonna happen over the course of the offseason that influence this.
And
My
and by week 5, they might lose a starting QB or something, or they
Yeah,
might drop a star wide receiver. Their
they could.
best
Yeah.
defensive end goes down. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean,
Or maybe that happens to us.
yeah.
Who knows?
But my thinking here,
It's May.
if Pitt is as good or better than they were last year, I'm gonna go ahead and take the conference loss now
I get it.
because I think you go into this game 4-0. Yeah, there's a lot of momentum. That place would be rocking, be a great atmosphere. I just think it's nothing Pitt hasn't seen before. Again, if they're just as good or better, uh, I think they probably get the edge on a team that is young in certain spots. Now, again, really this is a coin flip game for me. I could see this going either way. I could see Tech beating the brakes off of them. I could see Tech winning a one-score game. I could see Tech losing. It's just I don't think Tech gets blown out. But I think
I
those are
think
kind of the
it's like
three.
a 65% chance Tech win.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's how I weigh that.
I think right.
So it's a could win.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
could win.
it's a could win. I think sitting here on May 15th, right now, I'm going to take the loss. Tough loss, but that's kind of
Tough loss.
yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Again, might change, but
All of these predictions are subject to change.
they are because we don't have to, shoot our shot in May and stick by that in October.
I hope not.
So yeah, right now it's an L, but we can jump ahead to at Cal, which is tough purely because of the time zone difference. Probably, I mean they went 7-6 last year, finished 7th in the ACC.
They were a good football team last year.
They were solid, and they have a new coach this year, right?
They do. They have the defensive coordinator from Oregon came down and is now their head coach. He's a football guy's football guy. He is like psycho just about everything. Very Ben Johnson
Yeah,
Bears head coach, kind of like that. Except maybe even a little more serious. Good coach. I think that Cal team. I would just flip the loss and the win of those two teams.
yeah,
And at this point, going into because I don't know about you, I don't have a whole lot on Cal other than the fact that I think they're a good football team. Going into week 7 at home against Georgia Tech, sitting here at 5-1, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm chill.
I think you lose either the Pitt or the Cal game. I don't think you
Yeah.
lose both. I think if you lose to Pitt, that's kind of the bring you back down to earth. Get okay, like let's refocus and go take care of business at Cal. I think if you beat Pitt, especially if you blow them out, I think the loss at Cal is a little bit more likely. Though you could be 6-0 at this point.
Could be.
I mean, there's a path to that for sure.
I don't think we're gonna, but you could.
No, I'll take the
You could.
win here to put Tech at 5-1.
I
Again,
just I just think this team needs to learn how to win a lot more
yeah,
early. Now, granted, if you want to compete with some of the teams we have on the back end of our schedule, having the kind of runway that we do and learning how to win, maybe we go up to Maryland and win a close one, and we got to like make it happen late. If we have to do that, that's like a learning how to win spot.
yeah,
We have to go up to Chestnut Hill, figure out a way, down 3 late, tie it, win overtime, something wild like that.
yeah.
Um, but but I agree. I think there's a chance where we're undefeated. Probably not though. Um,
I think
man,
you
Georgia
lose.
Tech. I'm interested to hear what you say about Georgia Tech because I have my opinions about this. But go ahead.
Well, okay, so let's talk about what Georgia Tech has been. They went 9-4, finished tied for second in the ACC. They have been one of the best, or I guess just one of the most consistent teams in the ACC over the last couple of years. They have some questions. New quarterback, Fernando Mendoza's younger brother, who's apparently really good. So that's something to watch. Their former running back coach, Norval McKenzie, came to Blacksburg. That's a big loss for them.
Assistant head coach as
Because
well.
yeah, because Jamal Haynes, one of the best running backs in the country, um, was coached by him. So there's just a lot of questions around this Georgia Tech team. I kind of think it's a down year for them, probably. Now
Okay.
that being said, Mendoza probably, and I haven't watched him play a snap of football. I'm just shooting out of my butt right now.
He's all right.
Probably maybe a better quarterback than Haynes King. I don't know. King was solid, but again, we haven't watched these guys play a snap of football yet.
I think that's so two things. A, I think what you just said is so disrespectful to Haynes King. Haynes
Probably,
Haynes was so good. I I here's why I think this is a loss. Okay. Brent Key, in my eyes, is a top 10 coach in college football.
yeah,
I think if you went and gave him the resources at Texas Tech, if you gave him the resources at LSU and that brand, if you gave him Michigan, to me, he's a guy that has like Michigan head coach written all over him. I don't know why he's from Georgia Tech. Is that right?
yeah. He played there, I think. Yeah,
In my
he,
opinion, Clark Lee and him are very similar in that they've just built these like from the ground up institutions in their conferences.
they are
And
what Virginia Tech wanted Brent Pry to be.
yeah, and in my opinion, Brent Key is a little like Pat Narduzzi-ish in that you just kind of know that the team's going to be solid.
Yeah,
And I don't know how Mendoza will translate to full time starter. I just don't know, but um, I have faith that Key will find a way to load back up,
yeah,
and if nothing else, they will be a really hard out all year long because that's who their head coach is. So I think that I just think we lose a couple of early ones to Pitt or Georgia or Pitt or Cal, maybe at Maryland, who knows? Malik Washington, Maryland's head coach. I should have brought this up. Really good player.
yeah.
Really good player. And this might be like a come out year for him. So who knows? Uh, maybe you lose a Maryland, maybe you lose a Cal, Pitt. I think we lose Georgia Tech, and then it's tough sledding, buddy.
I want
Tough.
to say you don't lose to both Pitt and Georgia Tech. I can't say that right now, though. I just can't. Georgia Tech, yes, they lost their running back coach. I believe Jamal Haynes graduated as well. Maybe. Regardless, they're going to run the football. You're going to have to stop the run. It's going to be a very, very physical 4 quarters in Blacksburg. I like that it's at home, but until we prove
Yeah.
that actually means something again, I can't make that a huge factor for me. Again, new coaching staff, all that stuff, I get that, but holding that up against what we've been the last 15 years, I just can't. I can't wholeheartedly say that the home environment and all these other things chalk that up to a win. So I'm going to take the loss here. I'm going to put us at 5-2. Disappointing loss. But and on top of that, you have a tough game the next weekend, road game.
You do.
Which is a great segue into Clemson.
So I'll start here because you started Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think we go down and beat Clemson. Now, I think my decision on this game rests a lot more in my lack of faith in Dabo and that staff and the culture at Clemson, because at the end of the day, he can say and they can put whatever narrative out into the world that they want to. At the end of the day, are you winning football games? And they have been a constant downward trend since 22.
Probably since Trevor Lawrence graduated. That was kind of the tipping point, I feel like.
Since that Kelly Bryant year,
yeah,
it's not been great.
No. They've had issues at quarterback. They've had coaching issues. They've had it seems from the outside looking in, locker room and leadership and culture issues, which starts at the top. It's a Dabo Swinney problem.
I just think that Virginia Tech, I think if you're James Franklin, this is like if you have your your schedule, your calendar, if you will, up in a locker room somewhere, you've got this in.
Oh, we lost Alex. Sorry, everybody. Let me get him invited back here so we can resume. Sorry for the dead air, guys. Oh,
You good?
We got you. Yeah, we got you now.
You
had frozen up for a minute there before that.
Oh, okay.
Like I think you were at the point where you said you hang it up in the locker room.
You make a point for everyone to have their ducks in a row for this game, because this is our coming and letting the world know that we're here. If we're here, we let people know this week.
Yep.
And that's all I'll say about that. I think we're able to, if we have the kind of season that we think we're going to leading up to this game, I think we'll be able to physically go play football down in Death Valley and shock the world. That'd be cool.
Let me ask you a question here. I'll ask you a couple questions, but first, does Dabo coach this game?
Yeah.
let's pull up their schedule as well here.
It's probably not super nice for them.
Okay, week 1. I believe College Game Day will be at this game. You've got at LSU, Lane Kiffin's first game at the less racist school.
Allegedly.
It's the SEC. They're all racist anyway. That is probably an L. Then they've got Georgia Southern. That should be a dub. UNC should be a dub. At Cal, who knows? Miami, that's an L. Charleston Southern, that's a dub. So you're looking at what? 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4, probably 4-2 going to that Virginia Tech game. Any less than that, I think he's gone. If he goes into that
4-2 Clemson going up against 5-2 Tech, Tech wins. I can see things getting really shaky in Death Valley. Really,
or
buddy, watch out.
If they go into that, buckle up. If they go into that game 3-3, I think Dabo's gone.
That could be.
Or if they lose to Miami to have a losing record, he's gone. Because I think the writing will be at the wall at that point. Because again, it goes back to expectations. Clemson is a very proud program, rightfully so. They expect to win national championships there in
they
Clemson.
Should.
And yeah, they should. They have the resources. They have the facilities. Do they have the coach anymore? And I think that is the question that will be answered through the first half of the season. Now, if he is the coach of this game and they lose to Virginia Tech
and James Franklin,
yeah, I mean,
coming out of Death Valley and winning a big game,
do they view that as a fireable offense?
It's a good question.
I don't know. If Tech is ranked, probably not. I see my view of this game. If Clemson's the best team in the ACC this year, just out of nowhere, like Randy Orton, I kind of think it's an L, because I think the team is going to be young, and you're in a tough environment. But at the same time, I feel like it's easier. It's easier Chris, to play in tough road environments than it is to play in your own sometimes. So,
but Chris, they're not going to be the best team in the ACC.
They probably won't.
So there's that. Yeah. There's that. We have 3 other teams on our schedule that I can almost promise you are going to be better than Clemson. And we've got 2 of them after Clemson.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think for me it's a win. Let's see what Chris has here.
I don't know. I want to say
do we go 5-3 or 6-2 going into bye week?
I'm going to make things interesting. Again, this is TBD. This can always change. I'm taking the win.
Let's get it.
I think, again, just kind of like how I'm treating the Pitt game being a wake-up game, I think Georgia Tech is also a good wake-up game. You lose a tough game to a well-coached team, and that gets you right to go down into Death Valley, a tough place to play as long as Clemson is actually decent.
If Georgia Tech was on the road, I think you could define this as a look-ahead spot, that Georgia Tech game. But because it's at home and it's like and we might have like a little momentum going into it, I can see us having our chin straps tight for Georgia Tech. If it were on the road the week before going to a Clemson, I can see that not going as well, but I just think it's not going to be that bad. And then Chris, we have a bye week. Let's just talk about the bye week. Who's hurt? Who's not? You know, if we say indulge me. Say we go into the bye week. We lost a Hawkins early in the year, like Maryland early. We lost a Benji Gosnell. We lost a Elijah Fall. We lost a whoever. How deep do you? Because like I want to tie this in a little to our last podcast episode. How deep do you think this team is to be able to take some licks and keep playing at SMU, Stanford, at Miami, UVA for that stretch? Because bye week is, again, in my opinion, this bye week could not have come at a better time for us this year. If you had let me put it in a spot, it's this week. So it's great for me. I mean, again, a lot of it always comes down to when people get hurt and when people need rest. But for me, it's now.
I think the depth question it comes down to, I guess, which position. Quarterback, if Grunkemeyer goes down, that's tough. Because Baker is good, Ryan is decent, but like Grunkemeyer, I think, is far and away the best quarterback on the roster. So if he goes down, it's really tough. If Hawkins goes down, it hurts. But I think Overton, like, because I view Hawkins and Overton as a 1A, 1B.
Me too.
So if you lose Hawkins, it hurts for your rotation and your depth. But you have Overton, you have Davis, you have other guys that can step up in that room. Wide receiver, if Aiden Green goes down, that's hard. Or if
It
Quayshawn
gets
Brown,
tough in the receiver room if Aiden Green goes down. Really tough.
Tight end, you're probably okay. Offensive line, one injury wouldn't be the end of the world. Two or more
Agreed.
would be tough.
Yeah.
Defensive line, it might be tough, but really the rest of the defense, I think you have enough depth and experience that you could handle one, maybe two. So it just depends on the position group, but yeah, I agree. It comes at a great time. I would prefer it before Clemson, but if Clemson is bad, then I think it's great before SMU, because you come out of Death Valley, you lick your wounds for a week, and you set your targets on the next game, which we can move to now for the sake of time if you want,
Sure.
unless you have anything else.
No.
At SMU, I would argue probably second toughest road game on the schedule this year. They went 9-4 last year, tied for second in the ACC. We're playing a lot of those teams this year.
Yeah.
And that's a loud stadium. That's a tough stadium. And I think the biggest question surrounding SMU, can they find their way back into the ACC championship, and can they find their way back into the college football playoff? And the answer is yes. They absolutely can.
I think so too. I view Rhett Lashley a lot like I do Brent Key, in that like he's got it figured out down there.
Yeah.
And whether or not they'll make it to the ACC championship or they'll make it back to the playoff, those are things that'll be decided down the road. But my view of that coach is that he is really good.
Yeah.
And they have Kevin Jennings returning, one of the better quarterbacks in the whole country. This could be like a dark horse Heisman type of year for him. Go ahead and take my shot now. I'll go ahead and place that bet. I think SMU and Miami, I think, are the two best teams in this conference. So I'll go ahead and just say that's a loss. That's a loss.
I think I have to agree.
I don't necessarily think it's going to be a blowout. I just think SMU's it's more about how much respect I have for that program and less about how poorly I think we'll play. Because coming off a win at Clemson for both of us, and then you go into a bye, I think we'll be ready. I just think that SMU's that kind of team.
This is the kind of game you either lose in overtime or you lose in the final 5 minutes of the game, and they just wear you out and you run out of gas. Kind of similar to like the Syracuse game in 24, except it was that was more the team. I don't want to say quit, but they just gave up too many big plays to let them back into that one. So yeah, that I agree. I think they moved to 6-3, moving into hopefully a chill game, week 10.
Hope so. Yeah.
Stanford, they went 4-8, 12th in the ACC. I put in here, it's a great time for a gettable home game, because that's like the one easy-ish game that you have in this stretch of just tough games that starts with what,
Just a murderer's
Clemson,
row of Clemson.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Call it Pitt. Yeah. I think that Stanford, like I said that we're not necessarily gonna lose by a lot to SMU. I think SMU might be a game where you need to come home and lick your wounds a little.
Yeah.
And having Stanford at home might just do it for us. So yeah. I don't have a whole lot on the Stanford game other than hopefully as you so nicely state here, hopefully a chill game. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Going into could be a trap game though,
Good.
because the next
Because you're
week,
like, at least we got Stanford now. Yeah.
but the next week,
And the look ahead.
the next
Buddy.
week you are going to, the national runner-up at Miami. Now,
Those Canes down in Florida.
there's a lot of interesting stories around this game. But first, they went 13-3, tied for second in the ACC. Obviously, they missed the ACC championship game famously, but they lost to Indiana in the national championship. They've got Darian Mensah, transfer from Duke at quarterback. Okay, all of that's fine and dandy. Throw that out, okay? Because two
Oh, there?
games,
Just throw it out.
two
Oh,
games,
wow. Oh, okay.
2024 and last year. You guys don't think that Brent Pry still remembers how that 2024 game ended?
God knows I do, Chris.
The guys on that roster, Benji Gosnell, I can't remember if Marcellus Hawkins was on the roster for that game. Forgive me. There's guys on this team that played in that game who have woke up probably every morning since then wanting another shot at Miami. They got another shot last year, and Miami ran through us. But that was last year. Last year's team was not good. This is a different team. Tough environment when you can actually get Miami fans to give a crap, which isn't very often,
It's
even
hard.
when they're good.
It's hard, Chris. It's hard.
I am going to do something brash. Tech wins this game.
Ooh. Okay.
Because I think Brent Pry is going to turn the defense up a wick for this one. You know he is.
I need Mensah touched up personally.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's nothing against Mensah. I'd actually like to go ahead and make a point about Mensah. The biggest thing that Miami could have done all year in anything that they, and this isn't like a shocking thing because it's the most important place on the field, but backfilling the void left by name Miami quarterback last year. Carson Beck. Yeah. The void left by Carson Beck, and you just go and get top 3 quarterback in the portal who had a contract signed with Duke, and you go up there and you're like, yeah, come on. That's a big boy move. Call it be mad if you want to. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah. But that's if we're being honest, that's what big boy programs do in this day and time in the sport. And I think that really shows what they now you make a fantastic point about the revenge factor of this game. That 2024 game, Chris.
I have
I
never
have
been more
never
distraught.
I've never seen a more controversial ending to a game that I had a vested interest in. And I say that because the Danny Cole catch no catch was not the last play of the game. By the way, he caught that ball.
He did. He did.
In much the same way that Taquan Felton caught that ball.
And even if he didn't, you call that on the field, and you
and then
cannot
you go
tell
and find
me that
evidence
there is
for
indisputable
no catch?
evidence. You cannot tell me that there is indisputable evidence to
Give me a
reverse the call on the
break.
field, even if
Give
that
me
is the
a
right call.
break.
You have to make that call correctly on the field, and you have to follow your own rules. Virginia Tech won that game. Sucks that it doesn't count for anything, but yeah,
Hang the banner. Tech actually won that game in Miami.
that in my opinion was like the beginning of the end for Pry. Like he never recovered.
That game was the best that we ever played under Brent Pry.
Easy.
Against the best competition.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage. That was a Friday night game, by the way.
Yeah.
Friday night at Miami. We played a really good game. Aiden Green had a great game that game. Yeah, and as I say, last time was a Friday night. This will be a Saturday night, Chris. And as you put down in our notes just now, that's a game day spot. If we're
7-3 going into this one,
going into like an undefeated or one-loss Miami, Franklin versus Cristobal, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
And I understand that.
Go ahead.
I understand that the rest of the slate, as Solid Verbal very graciously pointed out on their podcast this week, I understand the slate for November is stacked, including that week. They didn't even mention this game, which I thought was highway robbery. I'm sorry. Like if Tech is 7-3, Miami's undefeated or 1 or 2 losses, you have to get to that game because they'll touch every SEC school every other week of the season. Get to this game. If you're in the Miami area, get to this game. College game day, get to this game. It's important. It's a big one. Probably the biggest of the season. Yeah, I have that feeling. I'm probably wrong. Again, this can change. I have a feeling that this could be a good game for Virginia Tech, and this could be a signature win in season 1 for James Franklin. So, do you have anything else on this one?
I was just gonna look really quickly at Miami's schedule going into this. Okay, I was just looking because they have a spot at Clemson at the beginning of October, and I was just looking because I honestly wanted to see if they had a chance for a game day spot prior to, but I don't see right now. Hokie fans down in the Dade County area can get some Tech tickets for as low as $49. That ain't bad. I agree. This could definitely be a game day spot. Yeah. Rolling into the all important, the ever more important given last year's events. College game day again.
If UVA's good,
college
we're
game day
good.
again. That's great. Hey, you never know, man. I think that this, if anybody knows how to just lay it on to UVA, Brent Pry knows how to lay it on to UVA.
He does. He never lost to them.
And he didn't. And I bet that he wouldn't mind to tell those little secrets to his new boss and best friend, James Franklin. And Chris, to get into actual stuff, I have a lot of respect for what Tony Elliott's done
Absolutely. Yeah.
at UVA. Just an incredible. Last year was an epiphany, like just an out of this world season for Virginia. As like
And he
I'm
was
about
on
to
the
throw
hot
up as
seat
I say
too.
that. I'm about to. Yeah, he was. I'm about to throw up as I say that, but it's a fact. Like
I
that
hate
that team's so good
I
last
hate
year.
UVA hires such likable coaches. Tony Bennett, Tony Elliott. Like, you can't hate these guys.
No,
Bronco Mendenhall, you could, but he was
could
Bronco
and we did.
Mendenhall. Yeah.
Uh, I so have a lot of respect for Tony Elliott. I also have some respect for Bo Prabula. Now, if they had brought back the guy, again, I'm horrible with names this evening. I don't know why. I need like some coffee or something. What was his name? UVA's
It's
QB
bad
last
that I
year.
don't even remember. I checked out, bro. I
Yeah, me
watched.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
Um, but if they had brought him back, which it looked like it looked like it's good for Virginia. Again, hate that there's anything good for Virginia in this world, but it's good for them that there was a conclusion to that whole deal with could he come back, will he, won't he, let a court decide,
Yeah.
all that, for it to come to a head in what was it, March, and not like have all year to have to deal with that conversation about who should be our starter.
It was Chandler
And
Morris.
Chandler Morris, thank you. That's right. North Texas. That's right.
Yeah.
Um, I, with all that said, and all the respect I have for them, truly, uh, this is a put your ass in a seat in Lane Stadium, lose your voice,
Yeah.
frown at a UVA fan. I mean,
Do
be
what I
respectful.
did. Do what I
Be
did 2
be
years
ni-
ago.
be nice because that's what we do in Blacksburg. However, things are different UVA week, so we
Yeah.
just got to turn up, and I think we will, and I think we win, and I think we go 8-4.
You can do what I did in 2024. We were sitting next to two very nice UVA fans. Their son was in the
Rats.
marching band. Their son was in the marching band. We were sitting over on the east
That was
side.
the Pop Watson game, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That was a fun one.
That's cool. Yeah.
We were sitting over on the east side against the wall, over like next to the south end zone where the band was at in the top, the UVA band. And so they started playing that god awful New Year's song, like a bunch of dweebs started doing that nonsense and swaying back and forth. And I yelled over the wall, "Hey, it's not even Thanksgiving yet." And Caroline elbowed me real hard in the ribs. She's like, "Be nice." I was like, "No, I won't be nice."
This is
Anyway,
Virginia. Yeah.
I hate Virginia. I have to respect, like you said, what Tony Elliott did. Now the question is, again, 11-3, won the regular season in the ACC, lost the
I don't
ACC
think we're going to see
championship.
that again this year.
No, just
mean,
to recap though, like
yeah.
they lost the ACC championship to Duke, thankfully, missed the CFP, thankfully.
Thank God.
Like
Can
you
you
said,
imagine? Oh,
they
my gosh.
between them and JMU
Woo-wee.
fans, being two of the most self-righteous fan bases on Twitter, that would have been a miserable month of December. Thankfully, we only had to
At least
listen
we had
to JMU
Franklin
fans.
coming in January, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
But
all
like you were saying, the question of can Tony Elliott repeat this? That's a great question with the transfer portal game that he plays. Very like anti James Franklin, where Franklin is like, I'm going to bring you in from high school and keep you here, and then we're going to fill some spots where we need to and add depth where we need to. Tony Elliott's like playing that portal roulette every single year. And you see with teams like Louisville and some of these other schools that do that, some years it hits, some years it misses. Hopefully it misses. Not enough. Like, I want them to be good because I want to feel good about beating them, and
I
it
want this
not.
game to matter. Yeah.
Yes, I want this to be a game that College Game Day considers coming to. But that being said, I want to beat the dog
Pummel
crap.
them. Pummel them.
After
Yeah.
last year, after watching Philip Montgomery stand there and not give a crap and just keep trotting Kyron Drones out there drive after drive, and watching
Just
UVA
just
fans celebrate on our field, aka Lane Stadium North, aka Scott Stadium, I want to run the score up on these dudes. Virginia Tech wins this game. I've got them going 9-3.
I mean, you do have 9-3.
Now, that being
Can't
said,
believe you had us beating Miami. Can't
that being
believe
said,
beating
that
Miami.
will not happen. I don't think.
Okay. But you just laid out a lot of like plausible
Yeah.
spots where that's totally possible.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of to end this or to kind of wrap this podcast up in like a bigger picture conversation. There's been a lot of conversation so far this offseason, and I'm sure it will continue as we creep up to the starting line of this first season with Franklin. There's been a lot of conversation about what is an acceptable first season record. And I'll say my piece and then I'll let you go if you'd like. In my opinion, I don't think we should be upset at 7 wins. And that sounds worse on paper than I think it actually is because I think this schedule sets up for a lot of failure late. And if we stumble, which is what young teams do, now this is a young team, this is not a young coach team. And I think people should not get those two things confused. This is a young talent team, but not a young coach team.
They're also very mature too.
Very, yeah. And I like, so all that said, I don't think that 7 wins. I've heard some people. Was it you that I heard say like 6-6 wouldn't be like crazy?
Yeah, and I still stand by that. Like 6-6, I don't think fans need to be tearing down Merriman over that because you have to understand where this program has come from. That being said, and you also have to understand the schedule too. I mean, you could easily lose Virginia. You could easily lose Miami. You could easily lose Clemson. There's 6-6 right there, according to my projection.
Yeah.
That being said, like I think 6-6, you're like, okay, get us to next season. And you're just like, all right, that was a
another year older.
Yeah.
Bring more talent in.
That was a fine first year. What can we do next year? Anything 7 and up, every win after 7, I think, is just
crazy.
That's not just one cherry on top. That's like 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. Like you're just stacking cherries on top of this ice cream sundae that is Virginia Tech football. That's a weird analogy, but I'll stick with it.
So the reason that I push back on the 6-6 viewpoint is because I don't want to confuse my expectations now with what my expectations were in the past few years. I'm not going to allow myself as a fan and consumer and like vested interest person in this program and this team. I'm not going to let myself sink into the depths of like, hey, I wouldn't be mad at 500. I can't
fair.
Live with those expectations. If we're gonna put the money into this program, if we're going to staff it the way we are, if we're going to recruit to the level that we are now. Granted, a lot of that stuff is stuff that you won't feel the effect of for a few years, but you have to start somewhere. And why not this year? Why can't this team win 8 games? I think we're an 8-4 football team. When I first looked at the schedule, that was what I came with. That's still what I feel like.
I think that's a very
You
realistic.
can change around some games late. You lose to Cal, you beat Georgia Tech. You lose to Georgia Tech and Clemson, you beat SMU and Pitt. Like, it just, whatever. In my opinion, though, this team should be viewed by fans as something that you would think should be better than 500.
Yeah.
On paper. Now, granted, that's before all injuries. It's before any kind of controversy, like any of that. So,
yeah.
But that's just me.
I think 8-4 is a very realistic view. I said 9-3 mainly because I just, it's boring if we both say 8-4. So I'll stick with 9-3 for now. But like 8-4, 7-5, both very realistic.
Would have never thought that you'd have the higher record prediction. That just baffles me.
No, I've come around on that.
I'm glad.
Because like I think just seeing the players on the field at the spring game helped me. Like before you actually see these guys in orange and maroon, in pads, in like a game-ish setting, it's hard to.
They're just names on a list, and with like heights and weights, and you're like, I wonder what they look like on a field. Yeah.
But actually seeing that and knowing James Franklin's track record and knowing that the ACC is the ACC and anything could happen. Any of these teams that we think are going to be good could be bad, and any of these teams that we think are going to be bad could be good. That's just the ACC. It's chaos,
including ourselves.
I think anything between 7-5 to 9-3 is realistic-ish. I would say for the fans expecting CFP or bust, pump the brakes on that. It's going to take probably at least 10-2 with a loss in the ACC championship to get in, a close loss.
I think we're much more likely to be 500 than we are to be in that conversation.
Yeah, this year.
Does that make sense?
This year.
Yeah.
Next season, sure. But this season,
I guess.
Yeah, I think you've got to be okay with 8-9 wins. And being on
I'd
the
cusp. I'd be thrilled. No. Like I might have like came off the wrong way. It's not that I'm okay with 8 wins. I would be so happy with 8 wins.
Yeah.
That is such a good football season, dude. Like I would. It's not that I'd be upset with 500. I'd probably be able to live with it. Did I lose you again? You there?
Oh, yeah, for a second.
Okay. It's not that I'd be upset with 6-6. I just think we can be better.
Yeah.
So 6-6 is my like floor for appreciation of this team. And then you build like a staircase up from there of like 7 wins is like, hey, nice. 8 wins is like, awesome. 9 is like, didn't see that coming. Holy smoke. 10, whatever else comes after that. It's like, what
you're building a statue.
Doing? What kind of dream am I living in right now? That, Chris, is the world that Indiana football has been living in for the past 2 years. And for people that are so pessimistic about the possibilities of Franklin here with the financial backing, with the coaching staff, with the players, with the town of Blacksburg behind him and this fan base that's just starving for something. Like if you don't think it can happen here, explain to me what happened in Indiana,
Yeah.
because I won't hear it. If you want to tell me that Franklin can't win the big game, fine. Fine. That's a track record. That's something that you can't look at and dismiss. However, I think there is a much better football tradition here.
Yeah.
There is, like, the Hoosiers are financially backing their program now, and they're doing good in the portal now. Tech has already made – they've taken the steps to be that already without seeing any wins. They haven't seen anything. They're just like, this is something that we need to do if we want to compete.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the tangent, but if it can happen there, it can happen literally anywhere. That is the historically worst football program ever. Ever.
They
won a natty last year, dude.
People joke
pretty easily
and clown on UVA fans of like, oh yeah, just get us to basketball season. Like, Indiana's the definition of that kind of school that just get us to basketball season. And they just won the college football national championship. It can absolutely happen here. And I'm not even going to say that like Tech can't make it to the CFP this year, because anything can happen. Again, the ACC could be buns and Tech just blow through their schedule, make the ACC championship game. That could happen.
Fired before we get to them. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Miami has a
Mensa
weird
gets
year.
hurt. Yeah. Some crazy stuff like that.
Virginia misses on the portal. Like, any of that stuff could happen. But it's May, and I have always, and I'll end on this, as a Virginia Tech fan, I have always found it best and safest to play it on the lower side, not get your hopes up, because when inevitably something great does happen, it's a lot more fun and easier to enjoy than celebrating over beating, I don't know, Liberty or some school like that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, anything can happen. It's only May. There's still 3-4 months of the off season to go before we get foot to leather. But I think that's a podcast, man. We apologize for internet difficulties.
Sorry, folks.
I don't know if that's you or me. My internet's been slow all night, so could be me. But yeah,
mine,
I think
says it's been okay, but who knows?
Yeah, I think that's a podcast, man.
It is.
Any final thoughts?
Go Hokies!
Absolutely. Let's go win 9 games, man.
Let's go. Let's
show the world. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.